Ladies and gentlemen, what a movie I just watched. What a movie. Last night for the Thursday night previews at Cineplex, I got to go watch The Odyssey. Finally, I got to watch The Odyssey after all of that waiting. I remember the first time I saw a preview for The Odyssey was when they were showing it exclusively in cinemas before certain movies last summer, like summer of 2025. And I remember seeing that, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's a year away! It's a year away. Why is it so far? I can't wait." Um, yeah. Oh wow. So I got to watch The Odyssey last night at Cineplex. I was blown away. I was simply blown away. It was incredible. It was no. I'm not even kidding. It was incredible. It was a very high level, high quality, everything all around well done film. So The Odyssey is by Christopher Nolan, is the live action telling of Homer's classic by of the same name, The Odyssey, and it follows a an Ithacan Greek warrior named Odysseus that he is trying to make his way back home to his family after the Trojan War in Troy that he led. Um, so let's. I want to first talk about the performances of each actor. Matt Damon played Odysseus, absolutely amazing. I think this and Good Will Hunting could be his best performances of his career. I'm not even sugarcoating that. I think that this and Good Will Hunting are his two best performances of his career. I'm trying to think of what else he was in. Maybe there was something else here and there, but like I feel like The Odyssey tops it easy. He played Odysseus so well with so much like he did such a good job of convincing the audience that this is what Odysseus was like. This is how he felt. Playing a tired, broken man who just wants to go back home to his family. I don't know if it's broken, but just a tired man who just fought in war and was away from home for so many years and wants to go back home already to his family. Matt Damon played it excellently. His fight scenes were great. His expressions in the film were perfect to capture what was happening as well. Yeah, nothing but praise for Matt Damon. Oscars maybe potentially. I don't know, but I think it's a maybe. I need to see more movies from this year to know who it could be, but maybe. Anne Hathaway as Penelope, Odysseus's wife from the original story. Yeah, she was great as well. She did such a good job of capturing the emotions of sorrow and happiness and upsetness and anger and disappointment as well. Just such a high level. Just such a high level. Every scene that she has, she steals the scene. She steals the show completely. Um, I mean, that's also who Anne Hathaway is. She's talented. She knows exactly what to do. Yeah, no, she was incredible. I loved every single piece of costume that she wore. People were complaining that the costume design was inaccurate to the original Odyssey. Yeah, it was, but can we stop nitpicking little things? Can we just stop nitpicking things? It didn't really have a dramatic impact on the outcome of the film. If it did, then yeah, I would have a bit more of a problem with it, but it didn't. Um, Anne Hathaway killed it. Tom Holland, I love seeing Tom Holland in non Spider-Man roles because this is where he really, really gets to flourish and gets to demonstrate who he can be as an actor. So Tom Holland played Telemachus, who is Odysseus and Penelope's son. Yeah, Tom Holland was great. Like I said, I like seeing that guy in roles that aren't Spider-Man. And it's funny because in 2 more weeks he has a Spider-Man movie coming out as well. Um, yeah, he played Telemachus really well. That son who is desperate to find his father, and he played that well. Like the how desperate he was to get information about his father. Everything that he was willing to do to find him and try and gouge out where he could be, going around the place trying to find where his father would be as well. Very well done. Very hats off to Tom Holland. My favorite performer in this movie was Robert Pattinson, who played Antinous. And oh my God, was Robert Pattinson super convincing at playing just a dickhead, a dickhead suitor who was trying to be one of Penelope's suitors because of the fact that Odysseus left and hadn't come back to Ithaca yet. He played that, pardon my French, but he played that asshole dickhead role so well, and he also did it so menacingly too. Like, it was so well done. And it's funny because he has more movies. He has two more movies coming out this year. He's got Primetime, which he's playing pedophile catcher Chris Hansen, and he's playing Sidetail in Dune Part 3. So this isn't like the end of Robert Pattinson's year. He's still got two more things to go to do. And and he had the drama earlier this year as well. But yeah, he played Antinous with a true menace, and you just hate him. And he showed Antinous's rage really well when he didn't get what he wanted. Yeah, hats off to him. And then there were others like John Leguizamo and Corey Hawkins that were great. Yeah, the story, like the actual story of the movie, was accurate to the book as well, which I really appreciated, because for some reason Hollywood thinks that they're better than the original script, the original people who wrote these original stories, and they can just make it whatever they want. For some reason, these people with huge egos, which unfortunately is a lot of Hollywood, they think that, oh, we know better than Homer, let's just make a completely different story. Yeah, so Nolan really stayed true to the Odyssey. I listened to the audiobook about like 3 months before the movie came out. 3-4 months before, I listened to the audiobook in like 1 hour segments, because it's a very long audiobook. Yeah, he did really stay true to the source material from the original book. And it's really impressive too, because he was able to get every single important part in the movie, because the book is obviously huge. It's a huge book, and a lot of the things that were in the book weren't in the movie, because you're not going to make a full movie about the Odyssey. That's going to be a multiple, like, tens of hours movie right there. And so he was able to include every single important part into it, like Cyclops, the witch, the sailing, the every important piece that's necessary to understand the Odyssey was in it. The scene in Hades. And what I also really liked, because from what I remember, the Trojan War was not talked about or shown in the original Odyssey. And this movie shows it. They show, the Trojan horse and how they were all cluttered up in there, which just seems like a terrible place to be. They were all cluttered up in there, just, oh God, yeah, just way too claustrophobic. But they showed the Trojan War, which was really cool to see, and I think they did it really well. The Trojan horse scene where they're all getting out and attacking the soldiers at Troy, yeah, the set pieces and the fights and all that were really, really well done, really well choreographed, really good set production as well. Yeah, soundtrack great. Loved the booming soundtrack of it. The drums, the flutes, and everything else. Odysseus's theme song as well. Yeah, just all around, just great. Honestly, like I don't really know if I have too much to criticize. Honestly, I don't think I do. I guess, yeah, no, I don't have much to criticize about this movie. Agamemnon was just the most badass dude in the entire movie. He was just aura farming the whole time in that awesome looking suit. Yeah, people were complaining it's historically inaccurate. Sure, yeah, it was, but like, it looked so badass. Like, even if you think that it looks historically inaccurate, it looks so badass. Like, it just looks. He was, and yeah, he was aura farming the whole movie. The Cyclops scene in the cave is one of the scariest and most well done scenes that I've seen in a movie in a long time. Just the suspension and the dread of being in that dark cave, not knowing where the Cyclops could be lingering. And he was loud too, like, there was the scene where Odysseus stabs Cyclops in the eye, which is exactly what happens in the book, and that the screech of that Cyclops was so loud in that cinema I went to. It was very loud. Yeah, that Cyclops scene is so well done. You know, you have the element of the dark of the cave, and you know the Cyclops being this big figure that literally, whenever he saw one of Odysseus' soldiers, it just easily picks them up and eats them or crushes them with his feet or whatever. Um, and it was interesting. It was interesting. I don't know if there was CGI used for the Cyclops. Probably because it's Nolan, it was a real Cyclops or something. Yeah, and everything else was so super well done. The scene in Hades, for example, was so cool. It was so cool. The soundtrack accompanying it was so cool. And the gloomy vibe of it all, you know, the black sand, the dark sky, and everything. Yeah, super well done. Every single combat scene was excellent, excellently choreographed. Really awesome soundtrack to accompany those combat scenes as well. Cinematography was really, really, really good. Lots of different colors used, and yeah, super well done. Um, I was gonna keep this short and sweet. I think I will, but yeah, look, for me, this is the so far. There's still a couple movies to come out, but for me, this is the best year. This is the best movie of the year so far. It has everything, and I don't have much complaints about it either. If I'm being honest, yeah. So whenever you guys can, I would very highly recommend you go watch the Odyssey at your local cinema. You will not regret it. It is a amazing piece of film. It's amazing. Yeah, sure. I I wasn't very happy with the casting choices they made at the start, like the casting for Helen of Troy, for example. I was not very happy with that at the beginning. But yeah, a lot of my criticisms that I had, I'm I'm like at the start, especially with casting choices, I'm willing to overlook that right now because of the fact that the movie was so unbelievably good. It was incredible. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for me. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Be sure to hit the notification bell button so you don't miss an upload. See ya.